Hi everyone and welcome back to Rachel's Enchanting Cakes. For today's tutorial we are going to be turning the Terry's Chocolate Orange into this super cute Easter bunny. Everything you need to know in a simple, detailed, step-by-step format and excellent for any new beginner baker as only limited equipment is used. Happy baking guys, and let's make a start. Unwrap a Terry's chocolate orange and place it directly onto some baking paper. Taking some liquid glucose and a brush, simply cover all of the Terry's chocolate orange. This will act like a glue when adding the fondant. Roll out exactly 150 grams of white fondant, trying to keep this in a circular shape. Gently place this directly over your Terry's chocolate orange, negotiating the pleats from the top to the bottom. Using a flexible smoother, I then simply smooth underneath. This is not an essential piece of equipment, so don't worry if you don't have it in your collection. Using a sharp knife, I then cut off any excess fondant and then simply give it one last smoothing over before I start decorating. For our Easter Bunny's head, I have started by rolling out a ball of white fondant. I then roll out two smaller balls of white fondant for the mouth. I place this directly on the larger ball and using a cocktail stick add a few indentations. For the teeth, I take a very small amount of white fondant. I shape this in my hands and then again using a cocktail stick I add an indentation before applying this directly to the bunny rabbit's head. Whilst my fondant is still soft, using a ball tool I place on two indentations so I know where the eyes are going to go. I shape a very small piece of pink fondant just using my hands and place this directly on there for my bunny rabbit's nose. For the eyes, I keep them very simple. I just add small balls of fondant on top of each other. So I started with a ball of black, as you can see on there, then white. I wanted my bunny rabbit's eyes to be blue. And then finally, you're going to see me add the final ball. Each time when you're adding a ball for the eyes, they want to get smaller. I use my cocktail stick just to help me place it on there and then a ball tool just to smooth it out. They're really not as difficult as you may think. For the bunny's paws, start with two balls of white fondant and roll these into a cone-like shape. I then keep on placing these directly onto the Terry's chocolate orange along with the head until I get the correct size. Once you have got them the right size, simply stick into place with a small amount of edible glue. You can add indentations into those paws if you want using a cocktail stick. For the ears, take two love heart shapes, one in pink and one in white, and simply place the smaller of the love heart directly onto the white. I then just push these pieces of fondant together without any edible glue, just using my fingers so that they blend well. Simply take some edible glue, place this directly onto your rabbit and stick into place until you get the desired effect that you are looking for. Taking a small piece of white fondant, stick this directly on top of the Terry's chocolate orange and then using some really sharp scissors, just cut into it to give more of a tail-like effect. This part is not essential, so don't worry if you don't have a mould. However, if you do have a bow mould or a bow cutter, I simply place this directly on top of my bunny's head. The back legs are really easy, so again I start off with more of a cone-like shape. I then simply push it down at one end because I'm wanting a foot. I make sure the cone is really long so that I can physically bend it so it looks like his leg is bent, like you would on a bunny rabbit. And simply apply this directly to the Terry's chocolate orange with some edible glue. I then apply small balls of pink fondant directly to the back legs just to give it more detail. And for the eyelashes, I just rolled out a very small piece of black fondant like you can see me do here and made it thinner at either end. I then simply applied this using a Dresden tool, or you can use a cocktail stick directly above the eyes. I then placed him on a decorated cake drum with a few flowers and also added a couple of the flowers directly to his body. and it really is as easy as that. Happy baking, everyone. I hope I've helped you again today, and I'll be back soon with more new, completely free content.